From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
Right now on the Afternoon Edition, we are watching cloudier conditions as we take a live look outside. A chance of showers coming to parts of the Bay Area. Thanks for being with us this Thursday afternoon. I'm Ann Magovic, and let's get right over to meteorologist Darren Peck. He has a look at our forecast. A lot of rain on the way.
Yeah, especially when you look at it right now with us on the virtual set. And so this is a good time of day to check in on the radar, because you've got the main band of our Thursday rain just about to work its way across the bay. This is a beautiful depiction of the right here and now at noon on this Thursday. You can see the weak cold front there. So you've been getting light rain in the North Bay, but you haven't really gotten a whole lot. I mean, I don't really even see much you can measure from that line as it works its way across the bay. But if you look at what it's about to do now it's getting down to the Golden Gate, and this is about to march its way across the greater population centers. Certainly looks a bit stormy out there. That's a live view out our window on the virtual set. You can see the system as a whole is mainly going to our north, but we will get some rain out of this over the course of the next, really all the way through Friday. We cannot take a chance of an isolated stray shower out of the forecast from now through Friday. We've got the current line now. We'll track that one again in a little more detail. But coming up in the full forecast, I got to take you through Thursday night, and then we got to look at Friday before we get to the break on Saturday. No rain Saturday, and that's good because there's a lot more coming after that. We'll show you all those different systems. I'll see you in a few minutes, Ann. Back to you.
All right. Winter round 2. Thanks, Darren. The Trump administration is celebrating the arrest of alleged MS-13 gang members. A nationwide sweep led to an arrest here in San Francisco. Yesterday, the Bureau announced the arrest of the Salvadoran national. According to the FBI, Santos Rodriguez Alaman has a criminal history, including convictions in El Salvador. The arrest is just one of many happening throughout the country. Earlier today, FBI Director Kash Patel and Attorney General Pam Bondi joined Virginia law enforcement to announce the arrest of a top leader for the MS-13 gang.
This task force is going to go everywhere it is needed across the United States to bring the form of justice and measured security and safety that our American citizens deserve.
Other Trump administration developments this afternoon. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. plans to cut 10,000 jobs from his department, 3,500 from the Food and Drug Administration, and 2,400 from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. According to the White House, the department is under a dramatic restructuring, and the goal is to cut $1.8 billion in costs. A notice of layoffs can come as early as tomorrow. New at noon, former Oakland Council member Lauren Taylor's mayoral bid is getting a major endorsement from the South Bay. In Oakland today, San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan says he believes that Taylor is the man for the job.
Oakland has some big problems, but Lauren Taylor has not just big solutions, but better solutions. Not just bigger government, but better government. I am looking forward to working with him to get our region back on track.
Mayor Mahan also called Taylor a pragmatic leader. In the 2022 mayoral race, Taylor finished second to now recalled Mayor Sheng Tao. This time he is facing off against former Congresswoman Barbara Lee, among other candidates. A special election for the mayoral race is coming up on April 15th. It is a new day at the Buchanan Mall in San Francisco's Western Addition, where they broke ground on a new park. It's a major turn for a park that had been a gathering spot for the community before crime and neglect took over that space. Shannon Watts, a community member, experienced that violence firsthand. She was shot in the Buchanan Mall, and her niece was murdered there a few years later. That is when she and other neighbors decided that they were fed up.
And we decided to speak up for our community and try to change the Buchanan Mall back to a happy and safe place. In the beginning, it was hard because people didn't think we could do it. And look at where we are today.
The new Buchanan Mall is going to feature new landscaping and lighting, space for performances and neighborhood events, and a memory walk displaying public art. VTA bus service expected to resume tomorrow after a judge sided with the transit agency, ending the strike in its third week. VTA claims that workers broke a no-strike clause. Those workers were back on the job today. Light rail service will be restored after rail inspections. Taking a live look at Chase Center now, where we are just hours from tip-off for the NCAA Tournament Sweet 16. First up, top-seeded Florida and the Crab Five of Maryland. Then it is Arkansas facing off against Texas Tech. The winners are going to play Saturday again at Chase Center for their chance to punch a ticket to the Final Four. Veronica Macias shows us college basketball fans are pouring into the Bay Area and businesses are ready for them.
Businesses not only at Thrive City, but around Chase Center gearing up for the crowds. It's their game day as well. I talked to businesses who say they are fully staffed, fully stocked, and ready to greet new faces. Another big sporting event is being held in the city of San Francisco, this time drawing a younger crowd. Newlyweds Kylie and Scott say they planned their trip for an entire year without knowing they'd be lucky enough to cheer on their home team.
The Maryland Terrapins are here, so go Terps.
Like for many Sweet 16 ticket holders, the Chase Center was part of the appeal.
I'm a little bummed there's no West Coast teams, but I think it's going to turn out really well. And our hotel's already packed with the giant spring training and this going on. It seems like the area is going to get a lot of attention this week.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. How are you? Getting ready for March Madness.
Kylie and Scott are one of the thousands of people visiting and helping the local economy. Businesses at Thrive City and around Chase Center are looking forward to the increase in foot traffic.
Whenever there is an event, what we like is so many people come out to see the game, but they also see part of San Francisco that is new. Mission Bay didn't really exist 5-6 years ago, and now with UCSF and Uber and Chase Center, so people come in to see the game, they also see some of San Francisco, something that's unique.
Peasant Pie says despite the arena adding more food options, it's pricey and people will venture out a few streets and explore. The recent All-Star game showing they can expect to see a 30 to 40% increase in customers.
You eat this by hand like the way you eat a hamburger.
The mom and pop shop has been in business for 3 decades and are offering food that you can eat on the go before and after the games. This East Coast couple could use some comfort food after spending lots on a 7-day trip on the West Coast.
Well, I don't want to say because she's standing next to me and I don't want to get in trouble, but the sea lions almost made it all worth it. We went to Pier 39 yesterday, saw so many sea lions, got summer weather in March and went out to Sausalito. It's amazing. I think it's such a cool city. When you think of all the cities that are hosting this year, San Francisco is the coolest.
Tip-off is not until 4:30, but businesses preparing for those long lines throughout the day.
And, of course, CBS is your home for March Madness. The action kicking off at 4 o'clock with BYU versus Alabama, and then it is Arizona versus Duke. We're going to have a special early newscast coming up in a couple hours at 3 p.m. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. We have a big change for people receiving Social Security checks. Our CBS business analyst breaking it all down ahead. Plus,
meet the woman credited with saving an historic San Francisco theater, how it's thriving as a cultural centerpiece in the Mission District today.
And taking another live look outside before we head to break. Tough to see the Golden Gate Bridge there with all the fog and clouds hanging around the area. We're going to have a full check at your weather forecast and more rain on the way coming up. Beginning today, some seniors could have their entire monthly Social Security check withheld. That is to repay accidental overpayments. Previously, this small group only saw 10% deducted from their checks. The Social Security Administration pays benefits to about 70 million Americans a month, totaling $1.6 trillion a year. And they say that fewer than 1% received more than they should. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says there is something you can do if you're in that small group and can't afford to take the hit.
You can actually appeal the decision if you think it's been made an error. And to be clear, the error can be on either side. It could be me, the Social Security recipient, not saying I've got a change in status. Something happened. My check is actually more. Or it could be the government. We goofed. Whoever is responsible doesn't matter. The person's on the hook for it.
To resolve any Social Security related issues, you can go to their website, ssa.gov. And the government says be sure to flag them if your check is larger than usual. An historic theater, 99 years old, in San Francisco's Mission District, has become a place for community and culture to come together. And it is all thanks to one woman who led the fight to save it. Sharon Chin introduces us to this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award winner.
Anastasia Powers-Cuellar remembers the first time she visited the Brava Theater back in 1983.
I came to see a film about Machito, and John Santos was giving a lecture about the history of Latin jazz and salsa, and I was just blown away. The theater seats used to be a lot lower rate here.
She's never lost that sense of awe.
It's called Macarena.
Since 2012, she's led Brava for Women in the Arts. The nonprofit highlights productions by women, the LGBTQ+ community, people of color, youth, and other underrepresented voices.
It's always been a vortex of creative energy.
The theater first opened in 1926 as a vaudeville stage and eventually became a movie house before Brava bought the building in 1996. But some 15 years later, a recession nearly dropped the curtain on the cultural centerpiece.
It was $2 million in debt. There was 25 liens on the property. It was very sad.
And Anastasia was hired to save it.
I knew what this place meant in the community.
Drawing on 3 decades in the arts and administration, Anastasia secured grants and community partnerships. She led the effort to resuscitate the theater center, renovated the storefronts along 24th Street.
Cabaret space.
And carved a new cabaret space.
Inferior.
Jose Carrasco, director of the Loco Performing Arts Group at Brava, had a front row seat to the transformative work of Anastasia, whom he also calls Stacy.
It takes an important skill set of knowing how to work with people. I really couldn't tell you what the secret recipe is for Stacy, but she makes it happen.
Today, 30,000 people come to more than 200 events a year at Brava, showcasing local artists in music, theater, dance, and more. It provides affordable rental space to nonprofits, and it's home to youth performing arts and paid internships for teenagers learning production.
My home, sweet home.
Empress Kayende Koyejo, one of a dozen resident artists at Brava, celebrates Anastasia's gifts of collaboration and innovation.
As an artist, you need someone who can see and believe in you enough to say, without question, let's go ahead and do it and see what it is.
Anastasia is proud that she helped usher a new period of stability for the arts community.
And we need it for our heart and our soul and our well-being.
So for saving and breathing new life into the Brava Theater Center, this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award goes to Anastasia Powers-Cuellar.
And you can nominate your own community hero for our CBS News Bay Area Icon Award on our website, kpix.com/icon.
All right, we're picking up this forecast just as this weak cold front is coming down to the Golden Gate. Let's get our bearings on this. A beautiful line. Just as we're entering the 12 o'clock hour on this Thursday afternoon, you've got this beautifully organized but very weak cold front that is just now marching its way across the bay. We're going to watch this line sweeping across the peninsula, East Bay Shore, but it's going to fall apart as it does so. Let me show you why I would say that. Here's the forecast imagery on that. You see the same line up there? Looks good, looks pretty well put together, but there's not a lot of rain in this, and I haven't even gotten much measurable rain out of the North Bay I could show you. Watch what happens over the next few hours. Kind of falls apart. Doesn't mean the rain's going to disappear completely, but the cold front will lack organization as it moves across the bay over the course of today. And then it is the follow-up showers that come in over the course of the next, really, 2 days that we notice. So there's tonight, 9 o'clock, you got some rain coming across the North Bay. Now we go through the day on Friday, more isolated on again, off again, hit and miss showers. This now gets us into Friday morning. And then you get a break. Friday afternoon, you're going to get plenty of blue sky, only to have more isolated showers come across as we go through Friday, through the late afternoon and early evening. But you don't get a lot of rain out of this on Friday. We just can't take a chance of rain out of the forecast on Friday. Look at the totals. That is 2 days worth of rain. This is not much. This really just looks more like rain than actually is rain that you can measure. Saturday, there's no rain, and then we really need to turn our attention to Sunday and next week. Watch what happens on that long-range forecast. Here comes the Sunday system. Now, that's a little bit better. Sunday, we get widespread rain. Monday, we still have a few leftover showers, but look what happens on Monday. The center of the system rotates through, we get more rain, and now we're at Tuesday. That was 3 days of next week. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday all have a chance of rain on them. Wednesday, we get a break, and then the next one comes in. And that stays with us through the end of next week. Let's go to the 7-day forecast. It's going to look kind of busy, kind of messy. There is a chance of rain on just about every day here. So why don't we call out the days where we know you're not going to get rained on? Saturday, no rain. And then likely Tuesday, we're kind of in a little bit of a window here before the next system comes in. The Sunday, Monday system will be widespread rain with some leftover showers on Tuesday, and then that next system comes in here. Stay on top of this forecast with us. It's going to be fairly busy from a rain standpoint. All right, Ann, back to you.
All right. Taking a look at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. That is where the Giants are going to spend Major League's opening day on the road against the Reds today. The Giants looking to improve on their 82-80, or actually, let's flip that, 80-82 overall record. But they are in a tough division with both the Dodgers and the Padres. Weren't too many moves in free agency, but the Giants did add star pitcher Justin Verlander. Giants home opener at Oracle Park is next Friday. That is against the Seattle Mariners. Tickets for that game start at around $70. There will be no Bay Area teams playing in the Sweet 16 games at Chase Center. But coming up, find out why one school may feel a bit like the home team. Taking a live look at the Chase Center this afternoon, where they are hosting the NCAA tournament for the second time in 4 years. Matt Lively has more on which school is going to sort of feel like the home team.
Chase Center will host the West Regional this weekend. Florida had the longest trip to San Francisco, but will have plenty of local support thanks to their head coach.
It's great to be back in the Bay.
Gators head coach Todd Golden was a player at St. Mary's and head coach at USF before landing at Florida. He wanted to give his team a true taste of San Francisco, so he pulled some strings last night and arranged a dinner at one of his favorite spots, Original Joe's in North Beach.
The penne alla vodka, I love. I went with the prime rib last night. You know, being here in San Francisco, that you can't go wrong.
He knows everyone there. Everyone knows him there. He's really good friends with the owner and all that stuff. So it was a really cool experience.
He was getting interviewed mid dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
I got filled with the appetizers before we even got to like the steak. So I only ate like half my steaks because the appetizers were so good. And yeah, it was a really good spot though.
Well, CBS is your home for March Madness. The action kicking off at 4 o'clock today with BYU versus Alabama. Then it's Arizona versus Duke. And before that, we're going to have a special early local newscast coming up at 3 p.m. I'll be there. All right, we are streaming right now on the CBS News app, and join us for a special newscast at 3 o'clock before March Madness here on CBS. Meantime, enjoy your drizzly Thursday afternoon.